All right, today we're cracking open the pitch deck for a startup called VibesMeet. Their whole bet is that the future of the creator economy isn't just online, it's about real-world, in-person connections. They think they've built the one platform to rule them all. So let's see what they're all about.
So the story kicks off with a massive number, over 50 million. That's how many creators VibesMeet says are out there right now trying to build and, actually monetize real-world communities. And just to be clear, we're not talking about a small niche here. They see this as a huge global movement. Okay, so if the market is that big, what's the holdup? What's the problem? Well, as this slide hints, there's this giant gap between wanting to connect with your audience offline and actually making it happen. For a lot of creators, it's a bridge that's just way too hard to build.
And here's the core of it. The whole experience is just broken. Creators are basically forced to digitally duct tape a bunch of different apps and services together just to pull off a simple event. It's clunky, it's inefficient, and honestly, it creates some pretty serious headaches.
This brings us to what the deck calls the creator's dilemma. And it's exactly what it sounds like. This idea of a totally jumbled, messy toolkit. Let's take a look at what that actually means in the real world.
Yeah, this slide just lays out the chaos perfectly. You're using Eventbrite for tickets, Instagram to get the word out, Stripe to handle payments, maybe Zoom if there's a virtual component, and then you're left doing manual ID checks to make sure things are safe. It's like every single tool is its own little island, and none of them talk to each other.
And here's the kicker. This isn't just an inconvenience. This mess has real costs. It's not just about the billions in potential revenue left on the table. Think about the creator who's totally burnt out from managing 5 different platforms. Or think about the fan who loses trust because they have to sign up for 3 different services. It's a system that just doesn't work.
So, after laying out that pretty frustrating problem, the deck pivots right to their solution. They call it a new vibe, the all-in-one platform.
And this quote right here, this is the core belief, the entire philosophy driving their platform. While so many companies are chasing likes and views, VibesMeet is betting the farm on this idea that real-world, in-person experiences are what create the deepest connections, the most trust, and, in the end, the most value for a creator's business.
So remember that messy puzzle of different apps we saw earlier? Well, this is their answer. Instead of chaos, they're offering one clean, streamlined, integrated platform built just for creator events.
Let's break down what that really means. First, creators can create everything in one spot. Then they can engage with their fans through verified meetups that have tipping built right in. A huge one is Protect. They use identity verification to build trust and safety. And of course, monetize with tickets, tips, and memberships all inside one ecosystem.
Okay, so that's the big idea. But how does it actually feel to use it as a creator? Let's walk through the seamless flow they're promising.
They've boiled it down to just 4 steps. First, you verify and join, which sets a foundation of trust from the start. Then you create and list your event. After that, you monetize it however you want, tickets, memberships, you name it. And finally, and this is pretty cool, you match and grow. They use AI to help connect you with fans, other events, and even potential sponsors. The whole thing is designed to be super simple, but really powerful.
Now we get to the question every investor's going to ask. This sounds good, but is this the right idea at the right time? This next section is all about the market and why they think the timing is absolutely perfect.
And they lay out some pretty compelling trends here. The creator economy is just exploding. Fans are more and more willing to pay for real experiences. In-person events are making a massive comeback. And maybe most importantly, creators are tired of renting their audience from the big social media giants. They want independence. It really does feel like a perfect storm.
So what about the big players already out there? This chart does a great job of breaking it down. They argue Eventbrite is just for tickets. There's no community there. Patreon is fantastic for online stuff, but it's missing that crucial in-person piece. And yet TikTok and Instagram give you reach, but you don't own your audience and there's not a lot of trust built in. VibesMeet wants to live right in the sweet spot, taking the best parts of all of them.
Okay, let's be real for a second. It kind of feels like a new creator platform launches every single week, right? Well, the deck anticipates that skepticism and asks the tough question directly.
And their answer is pretty confident. Instead of seeing all the competition as a bad thing, they're flipping it. They say it's proof that this is a healthy, thriving market. They believe they're carving out a brand new space that connects the online and offline worlds, and they're ready to grab a big piece of it.
And that brings us to the grand finale, the billion-dollar vision. This is where they see this whole thing going.
They're not thinking small here. They've laid out a pretty ambitious vision on a 5 to 7 year timeline.
First up, their user goal. Over 100 million monthly active users. I mean, that's a number that would put them in the same league as some of the major social platforms out there today.
And with that kind of user base, they're projecting massive revenue, over $1 billion a year. It's a huge, bold vision for sure.
So how do you even start on a billion-dollar journey like that? Well, it begins with this number, $1.5 million. That's what they're raising in their pre-seed round to get this rocket ship off the ground.
And to prove this isn't just a dream, they point to their early traction. They've already got a wait list of over 100 creators. They've actually run 6 real events from a couple hundred people to 10,000. And the feedback they're getting confirms that yes, the demand is really there. This isn't just an idea anymore, they're already doing it.
And that leaves us with the final and most critical question. VibesMeet is betting everything on this one idea, that after years of chasing virtual metrics, the real future is in building trusted, in-person connections. So, will they be right? Is this the key to what's next for creators and their communities? Well, that's the billion-dollar question.